Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are going to be playing with some brand new palettes from BH Cosmetics. What I have in front of me is their two brand new face palettes, and then they also launched two eyeshadow palettes as well. It's like a brunch themed collection. The packaging is adorable. I am so excited to dive into this. I will put timestamps in the description box below, so if you're only interested in seeing one thing or the other, or you guys get the drift, you know what a timestamp is for, I will put that in the description box so you can feel free to jump ahead or watch the whole video. It's really up to you. The world is your oyster. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump into it and let's get these beautiful palettes on my face. So first off, let's talk about the two face palettes. So we have the Belgian Waffle. This is a 6-color baked bronzer and highlighter palette. I need some bronzer on my face really bad. Obviously, as you can see, I only have foundation, contour, and some brows. We're looking a little flat. We need to warm it up a bit. So this is what the inside of the palette looks like. You guys, these highlighters are absolutely stunning. Stunning. The swatches, I was just like, damn, those are some reflective, buttery smooth. I do have to say, for a pressed highlighter, it does feel a little bit different. I mean, it is actual butter, and I have the driest skin. So when I swatched this on my arm, I was just like, okay, BH, you came to play with this one. Absolutely gorgeous. These palettes do have mirrors on the inside. They feel very nice. I absolutely love it. The names are super cute. You've got buttermilk, batter, cinnamon, powdered sugar, syrup, and maple. So down here are all three highlighter shades, and then you've got some bronzers up here. Let's go ahead and just get some of this on the face. I'm going to take my Morphe E34, one of my little powder brushes here. I want to dip into this. It doesn't say that this is an under eye brightener or anything. I want to see what this does, because this is very light and I don't really know if it would even do anything. Absolutely not. I do wish that this was just a little bit deeper in tone. Let's go ahead and move over to Batter. Now this shade looks like this is going to work perfect for me. Head and bronze up the cheeks. Blending beautifully. I can appreciate a bronzer or blush or any kind of complexion powder, face powder, that isn't overly pigmented. I don't like that. I want to be able to build my products up. I want it to look soft and airbrushed and effortless, and I can appreciate that. I just feel like bronzers and blushes just don't need to be so insanely pigmented that you're going to spend a ton of time blending it out. It's just not necessary. Now, first impression, this is blending out beautifully, effortlessly. I'm using just a cheap Morphe brush, nothing too fancy, and this is just blending beautifully on the skin. What you guys think? Comment down below as I'm using the products. Give me your thoughts. Now, I don't see any texture. My skin actually looks really, really nice. There's a lot more color payoff coming from this than I thought. Looking in the viewfinder, this looks a lot darker than when I'm looking at a mirror right in front of me, but whatever. We love a very bronzed moment. Let's go ahead and do some highlighting because that's my favorite part. I'm just going to mix these two, powdered sugar and syrup. I'm going to mix these two using my Sigma. What brush do we have here? This is the F03 High Cheekbone Highlighter, and that's exactly what we want. We want high lifted cheekbones. Very pretty. It gives a very subtle glow. Let's build this up a bit. I don't really want to tap my brush too much. I kind of want to go for a very intense highlight. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and sweep this downward. I'm kind of into bringing my highlighter right here to like the apple of my cheek so you could just get that pop. I feel like it just really gives your cheeks a plump, lifted look. Now, obviously I went very heavy with the highlight, but that's what I wanted. My goodness, that is stunning. And again, I don't see any texture being exaggerated. That is the number one thing I look for when reviewing a highlighter, is that I don't want it to exaggerate the texture. I have textured skin, I have dry skin, and highlighters that amplify that are a big no-no. We don't want that. Why am I using a handheld mirror when I've got one in the palette? Earth to Crystal, are we awake yet this morning? Yeah, this highlighter is stunning. These two shades mixed together are absolute perfection. It's not like too silvery, and I don't get like that weird cast. It's just like when it hits the light, it is absolutely gorgeous. And obviously you can build this up again, which is nice. I want to reiterate that what I'm noticing so far is that you can really build these up and get the look that you want. It's not going to be too crazy. It's not going to be too intense, which makes it very versatile and perfect for everyday use. So far, I am super impressed with this, the Belgian Waffle bronzer and highlighting kit. This is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. And if I get a little bit more tan, or if I want to contour a bit more, make it a little bit more intense, more chiseled, I can dip into this deeper bronzer right here. Boom. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's go ahead and move on to the Bellini 6-pan blush palette. Look at these colors. I feel like 2020 is the year of blush. I feel like everybody's just so into it. I know that myself actually used to have a little bit of a fear of blush because I do have redness to my skin and I try my very damn hardest to cover that up most of the time, but I have fallen in love with blush, especially peachy tones. Look how gorgeous, summery, bright. Now this palette does also come with a mirror as well. All of the palettes do. So we've got Georgia Peach, Just Peachy, Peachy Keen, Peach of Cake, Life's a Peach, and Peach Please. So much peach. Wow, and I got through reading all of that without messing it up. Now we are going to dip into this using my Sigma Spotlight Duster. This is the F37. I just picked these brushes up. It's from their recently launched Rose Gold collection, and they're pretty and nice. What colors do I want to use? I think I'm going to mix Peach of Cake and Georgia Peach. Let's mix these two shades right here. Not a lot of kick up at all, which is nice. Now I like to use a brush like this for my blush because, again, we don't want that crazy over pigmentation. I just want a light flush to the cheeks. This is perfect. Do I want a light flush, or am I going heavier than I thought? Just a little bit, but I'm here for it. I love blush. I've been kind of into putting my blush over my highlight too. I feel like it just makes the highlight look a little bit more natural. You guys, cheeks. Wow. Absolutely stunning as well. Super impressed. I love it. Great first impression, swatched nicely, looks beautiful on the face. Again, comment down below and let me know what you think. Let's go ahead and dive into the meat and potatoes, the two eyeshadow palettes. So what we're going to do is obviously create a look using each palette on each eye. I'm gonna zoom you guys in as per usual so that you can get a really nice idea of how these blend and how they work. So let's just jump into it. Let's get these shadows on the eyes. All right, so now that I have you zoomed in and you can see how dry and crappy my skin looks, let's start with the Avocado Toast palette. I'm really into the pinks and the greens right here in the center, so I kind of want to utilize those. We're just going to just dive in. We'll see what happens. We'll see where it takes us. Now I have primed my lids with some of the Urban Decay Original Primer Potion and set it down with my Jeffree Star Magic Star setting powder. That is my go-to combo for priming my eyes for shadow. We're going to start off with this shade right here, Pink Salt. I'm gonna take a Morphe R39 brush, a pretty light, almost like bubblegum pink. Super gorgeous. My camera's going in and out of focus. I'm sorry, you guys. Perfect for a transition shade. Now this shade is perfect if you wanted to just pop something in the crease quickly and all over the lid for just like a light, very light pop of color. It's blending really nicely, and I'm a huge fan of the shade. It's like one of those shades where it's like you want to just get to work, but you want something on the eyes. You want to look a little bit more put together. Boom. I really like it. I do want to build it up just a bit more, especially in the crease, and I'm just following the natural shape of my eye. Perfect. Now I want to go ahead and dip into Paprika. I'm going to stick with that same brush. Now this I'm going to keep a little bit tighter into the crease, and there's a lot of pigment there. A little bit goes a long way with that one. I don't want to go too pink, obviously, because the other palette has pink. Trust me on this. Trust the process. We are going to incorporate the green. I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to blend it too much. I am now going to go ahead and dip into this shade right here, Avo Toast. And I'm going to use a Sigma. This is the E38 blending brush. I'm hoping this doesn't look muddy. But I'm so into the green. So I'm going to keep this kind of on the outer corner of the eye here. I really want to build that up. That is bright. Definitely packing a punch. I want to bring it into the crease just a little bit, but like I said, I want to be careful because things could get muddy in here very quickly. Now I think I want to take this shade right here, Lemon Pepper. I'm just going to pick that up on my finger. This is like a green, bright green metallic shade. Absolutely stunning. Look at how reflective that is. And I'm just going to pop that right here in the center of the lid. I'm going to blend that right into that green shade just to kind of give a nice ombre effect. Perfect. Super reflective, has a lot of texture to it, a lot of dimension. I'm just gonna build it up just a little bit just to really have it so the center of my eye just really pops and has a lot of reflect to it. I'm gonna blend this in just a little bit into the crease, which will also help kind of fade away any of the muddiness from the green mixing in with the pink. Now I want to take this super bright kind of champagne shade right here called Avocado. How cute is that? Love to show you guys how they look on my fingers because it's really reflective. I'm gonna keep that on the inner part of the eye and work that gently right into that, what was it? Lemon pepper shade we just laid down. This is really cute. I'm actually really digging the pink up here and then the green and then these different shifts of metallic look really very pretty together, just melding right in with each other. Let's go ahead and just try to deepen up that outer corner just a bit. I'm going to take this Morphe JH40 brush and we're going to dip into this shade right here, Superfood. I just want to take a tiny bit of that. I might even go ahead and mix it with more Avo Toast just to make sure that we're not going too dark. Again, the muddiness. That's what I'm trying to stay away from. And I'm just gonna keep that very focused right here on the outer part of the eye just to make sure everything looks nice and deepened and intense. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and just take the same brush with whatever is left on it. And I'm gonna drag that on the lower lash line. Want it a little bit brighter. I'm gonna dip back into Avo Toast. I'm not gonna be afraid to really smoke this out. I used to be so afraid of putting shadow on my lower lash line, but now I live for it. I'm like, there's no other way. Take this pencil brush, and this is a Royal Moda Pro. Is it Royal Nickel who makes Royal Pro? I can't think of it, whatever. This is a BMX 420 detail brush, and we're gonna dip into Avocado, and that's what we're gonna use on the inner corner. And I do wanna get this a little bit damp with some setting spray. Okay then, that is way more intense than I thought it would be. We're going for a very bright inner corner highlight. Are you guys seeing that? Holy smokes, we are glowing. That's fine though. I'm gonna put a little bit of that up here. All right guys, so that is the first look. Obviously, once we're done with the other eye, we will pop on mascara, liner, that sort of thing. But we're gonna stop there for the Avo Toast palette. Let's go ahead and move on to Mimosa. These are some of my favorite types of shades. I love my oranges, my pinks, my yellows. It is my absolute favorite. I do think that we are gonna go ahead and try to incorporate as much of this palette as possible. I wanna get a ton of the shades on the eye so I can get a really good idea of how this performs. So first off, I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with this shade right here, Bottomless. This is the Morphe R39. And just working that all up in the crease. I think I kind of want to go for more of like an angled, a little bit more of like a cat eye shape. So I'm going to kind of bring it out here, and once I get to that brow bone, I'm just going to kind of flick my brush out this way, come down here, and angle it out that way towards the tail of my brow, just to kind of help create that shape. Blended easy, as you could see, pigmented, even pigmentation. Loving it so far. Let's go ahead and deepen things up a bit. I'm gonna dip into this shade right here, Raspberry. We're just gonna go into it, sticking with that same brush. Now, it doesn't say on here that anything isn't necessarily eye safe. I know that sometimes red and pink shadows sometimes can say that, but I will tell you, fair warning, there is a very good chance that this may dye the skin on your eyes. Just a heads up, pink and red shadows just seem to do that, so don't be shocked that if something that happens to you. Personally, I don't really give a crap about it. Some people might, but I just want to go ahead and let you guys know, heads up, that that may happen. So we're going to start kind of in the center of the lid, keeping that very tight into the crease. I'm going to do most of the blending right there, get most of the color off of my brush in the center here of the crease, and then I'll start to work outward, again, kind of following that cat eye. Now we can go crazy and just blend it. For a bright shade like this, I'm pretty impressed with how well this is blending out and how we are not at all looking like there's any skipping or patchiness or anything like that. It's looking really good. We're getting quite bright here very fast, which is so different from the look that I created on this eye, but that's why we can show contrast. I'm gonna take this brush right here. This is the JH36. I'm gonna dip into Bottomless again right here. I do wanna just go ahead and make sure we don't lose too much of this lighter shade, and I'm just gonna kind of go over this just to kind of blend it out. You guys, I'm just so impressed with the way that these are blending. I mean, this looks like airbrush. It is absolutely gorgeous. Wow, am I impressed. All right, let's go ahead and work on this outer corner. We're gonna deepen it up even more. I'm gonna dip back into Raspberry here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and mix in a little bit of Pomegranate with that, this shade right here. I am taking the JH40, and I'm just gonna pop that right here on the outer portion of the eye. And the reason why I mixed in Pomegranate is because I wanted to deepen it just a little bit more and take away from some of the brightness that Raspberry has. I want it to be just a little bit deeper. What are we going to put all over the lid? I think what I'm going to start off with is this shade right here, Pop. I'm just going to use my finger, and this is what I'm going to pop into the center of the lid. Now this is a gorgeous duochrome. As you can see, it has like a gold and then pink shift. Stunning. Obsessed. These are some of my favorite types of shades. I have a lot of palettes and single shadows that look like this, but this one is even more intense of a shift, which I love. So I'm gonna pop that on the center of the lid. To me, this just gives your shadow the most beautiful ombre effect. So I put that right in the center, and then again, I just blend it into that deeper shade that is on the outer portion of the lid. And I do like to bring this almost into the crease. I have hooded eyes, does give my eyes the appearance of being a little bit more open, a little bit wider than they are. That is gorgeous. I could just put that all over the lid and be a happy camper. I think next I'm gonna go into this shade Fizzy right here. I think this is like another duochrome type shadow. Yes, it is. So this one, same type of thing. It's just a little bit brighter, as you can see. A little bit more silvery, which is perfect. That'll blend beautifully. Oh yeah, it's a lot more pink. More of a purpley shift. As this pink look is so bright, but oh my goodness, how fun is that? I mean, that just screams like 80s summer vibes. I absolutely love it. Let's get something on the lower lash line. I'm just gonna take this brush right here, take whatever is on it, and just start to work that on the lower lash line. Try so hard to look cute when I put like shadow on the lower lash line. I'm like, oh, Instagram. Just gonna blend this out, look at the camera, but instead I'm like poking myself in the eye, and I'm like, shit, my eyes are gonna look red and watery, and then I have to do this face, you know? Let's be real. I'm just gonna be real. I don't look cute when I do this. It's my favorite thing to do. Just a little bit of a tip for you. When you're blending things into the crease, and if you wanna put that same shade on the lower lash line, I don't even dip back into the palette because I want it to look a little bit softer and diffused. I just take whatever is left on the brush, and I just drag it down here. See, I just did it. I just poked myself in the eye. If you guys could be a fly in the wall sometimes when I'm doing my makeup off camera, how often that happens. Anyways, we just drag this on the lower lash line like that, because it's not too heavy, and it just gives it a nice, soft, diffused look. It's perfect. It's perfect for that. Let's go ahead and work on that inner corner. We are going to use the JH41. This is just like a flat shader brush. I am gonna go ahead and dip into, you know what? No. Let's make this fun. I want a pop of gold in the inner corner. I was gonna check out that matte white shade, but no. This look is just too fun and intense. We're gonna take the shade right here, Champagne. I'm gonna use that BMX 420 brush from Moda Pro. Pick up quite a bit, and I'm gonna get it damp with some setting spray, because if it's anything like the other shade that I put right here, it's gonna offer us the same intensity. Yes, that is so cute. I love it. The pop of gold just steps everything up even another notch. How fun. And we're just gonna go ahead and put that right on brow bone as well. Woo! She is intense. But how fun is that when it hits the light? You just got like that gold shimmer. Super fun. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pop on some liner, mascara, and then I will be right back with my final thoughts on all 4 palettes. All right, you guys, so here are both of the looks completed. I definitely have my thoughts. So first off, let's talk about the Avocado Toast palette. This palette is gorgeous. If you want something that is a little bit more, I would say neutral, a little bit more muted, but on the green spectrum, I think that you will absolutely love this palette. Obviously, you can create a very bright look with this as well, but if you are someone who just leans more towards these tones, you want something that just looks a little bit more neutral but gives you the option to have pops of color and a little bit more fun here and there, I think then you will absolutely love this palette. I had no problems or issues using any of the shades. The metallics are absolutely gorgeous, stunning. As you can see, obviously when I popped that shadow right here in the inner corner, if you really want the metallics to be crazy, like liquid metal, blinding intense, you can get there just by getting your brush or your finger just a little bit damp, and you will get that crazy just liquid metal intensity. I mean, it almost looks like a liquid shadow. Super impressed. Again, everything blended beautifully. It just looks, to me, absolutely stunning. I can't wait to play with this one more because I love green shadows. And again, you guys, how cute. Look at the packaging. Seriously adorable. Let's talk about the Mimosa palette now. If you are someone who wants something a little bit more bright, a little bit more fun, something just a little bit more intense for summer, again, this is for you. I don't want to say that you can't create neutral looks with these palettes because that's not true. You totally could. The colors are there, but this palette really gives you the option to like, bam, like really have some fun, to just really kind of tap more into your creative side without looking too crazy. I mean, this is still a very wearable look. It's very intense, at least for me, but it's definitely still a very wearable look. I think it looks gorgeous with this pop of gold right here. Just adds a little bit more color, draws you into the eyes. Absolutely beautiful. And again, I didn't have any issues blending out any of the shadows in this palette. Let's quickly recap on the face palette. So obviously the blush palette, gorgeous. I mean, it's a blush palette. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It adds that pop of color to the cheeks, but it is a very beautiful formula. It is very finely milled. You don't get a lot of kick up. It is by no means dusty. It just gives your cheeks just a beautiful matte flush of color. And the best part about it, again, is if you have texture, dry skin, this is going to sit beautifully on the skin. Love it. And the colors in here are perfect. I mean, I could dip into any of these shades. I could use all 6, which is what you want when you're purchasing a face palette. You want overall very wearable shades, and that palette offers that to you. And last but not least, the Belgian Waffle highlighter and bronzer palette. I have no complaints here. The bronzer blended beautifully, just like the blush palette, very finely milled, very minimal, if any, kick up. I didn't see anything in here. Blended gorgeously, didn't drag, didn't skip, didn't exaggerate texture, doesn't look muddy. It's a beautiful palette, and these highlighters, my goodness, can we talk about stunning. Again, what I like about it is that you can build it up. Either one of these palettes, you can build them up. You can go very sheer, you can go very intense, but I think overall beautiful. I think I paid, and I think they're still on sale, I think I paid $14.40 for each of these palettes. It is a steal. Hands down, these 4 palettes are totally worth it. If you are looking just for something more fun, you want a new eyeshadow palette, you're looking for a new blush palette. If you've seen some of the more popular blushes launching recently that are in that $30, $40, $50, even $60 range, but you don't want to drop that kind of money on a blush palette, you guys, I can't recommend this enough. It is absolutely stunning. I love all of it. I can see myself reaching for each one of these palettes quite often. These are some that I could really mix into my everyday routine. I am so impressed. BH Cosmetics, you did it. This is gorgeous. This is a fun, beautiful, just effortless collection. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you picked up any of these palettes. What are your thoughts? Were you waiting for some reviews to come out? Were you waiting for my thoughts on it? Give this video a huge thumbs up if you liked it. And of course, please be sure to subscribe, share, hit the bell button before you go. I love you guys so, so much. Thanks for sitting down and hanging out with me today. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Mwah. Bye, guys. This is the Bellini 6. Okay. We're starting over. We're 6 minutes in and I still don't have an intro. Usually how it works. Why did I eat a bagel before I sat down to film? I bet there's bread in my teeth. The second I sit down, there's either noise outside, which you guys know, it happens a lot. The second I sit down to film, there's either freaking noise outside or I just get itchy all over my scalp. Just, there it is. See? See? I didn't even plan that. I did not plan that. A car with like no muffler just went running through the intersection that is right by my house, and my head is itchy and my arm is itching. And why? Take 7. Do I have butthole lips? Can I look any crustier today? My foundation is just collecting around my nose and creasing. I have zits everywhere. You guys, I shaved the tail of my brows off, but what I didn't think about is that means you have to draw on your brows every day. But it's hair, it grows back, right?